Councilwoman Izzarello. Here. Councilman Lohman.
Yeah. All right, we will start this afternoon. We have one site plan. Mr. Hans?
Good afternoon, Supervisor and members of the Town Board. We have one site plan application for today for the Town Board to consider acting as the Board of Site Plan Review. This is for the Smithtown Fire District, right here on Elm Avenue. They're proposing a 6,236 square foot storage building. This is basically an extension of the existing building that's there now, fronting Elm, which backs up to the Department of Public Safety. On the screen, you can see the properties highlighted in red. This is the property that's sandwiched between the Maple Garden Apartments and Elm Avenue. This is the existing structure that is currently there. This is a site plan showing how to basically be expanded to the south. And the architecture is meant to match the existing building that's there. We had recommended approval with 4 conditions, that they obtain applicable permits from the building department. The fire district is not exempt from requiring building permits. The second is that they install orange mesh construction around trees to be preserved. That's actually been done as of now. The third is prior to the issuance of the CO, the pipe connection between the catch basins on the above referenced site along Elm Avenue shall be located and disconnected. Currently, it's tying into the town drainage system along Elm Avenue. And the fourth is that the use of the structure is limited to the fire department only. The fire department's in agreement, and they've signed it. Does the board have any questions?
Questions by the board? No questions? This will be voted on at the conclusion of the agenda. Thank you, Mr. Hans.
All right, thank you.
We will reconvene as Board of Water Commissioners.
There is minutes approval, January 6, 2026. A budget transfer for St. James Water District, agreement with Pace Analytical Services for water quality testing services for the Smithtown and St. James Water Districts. Release escrow, Oakwood Building Group, Plymouth Estates, and further authorize a budget modification for the Smithtown Water District. A budget transfer for the Smithtown Water District. Professional engineering services agreement with H2M Architects and Engineers for the planning, rehabilitation, expansion of operation and maintenance of facilities at the Smithtown and St. James Water Districts, and a bond for the water main extension at Oakside Drive and Landing Avenue in Smithtown.
Councilman Lohman.
Yes.
Councilwoman Izzarello.
Yes.
Councilwoman Noe.
Yes.
Councilman McCarthy.
Yes.
Supervisor Wilhelm.
Yes, I want to also acknowledge Councilman Lohman and the remainder of the town board for your efforts on attaining this bond. This is going to hook up 22 homes on Oakside Drive that the Suffolk County has deemed their wells contaminated. Those people have been very patient in the past, so congratulations to Councilman Lohman and the rest of the board for obtaining the bond so we could give those people clean water. Thank you. Reconvene as a town board.
Correspondence is St. James Chamber of Commerce, St. Patrick's Day Parade, March 14, 2026, and the December 2025 Building Department Report. There are 4 public hearings today. The first is to consider proposed amendments to Chapter 322 of the Town Code zoning with regard to Board of Appeals fees.
Good afternoon, Supervisor and members of the board. The purpose of this public hearing is to consider an amendment to Chapter 322 as it relates to fees. The fee for a certificate of existing use for one-family residential uses will change from $1,650 to $1,700. The fee for an area variance for uses other than one-family residential will change from $550 to $600. The fee for any nonprofit organization will change from $350 to $400 for a new or revised site plan application. The fee for a waiver will change from $1,250 to $1,300 per item requested to be waived. The fee for an exemption application for any nonprofit organization will change from $350 to $400. The additional charge for any type of living quarter will change from $100 to $150 per unit. These amendments shall be effective on April 1st, 2026. Unless there are any questions, that concludes this presentation.
Questions by the board?
Thank you.
Anyone in the audience wish to be heard on this public hearing? There being none, move to close.
Second.
Councilman Lohman?
Yes.
Councilwoman Anzarello?
Yes.
Councilwoman Noack?
Yeah.
Councilman
Yes.
McCarthy?
Yes.
Supervisor Wilhelm?
Yes.
Second public hearing is to consider proposed amendments to Chapter 138 of the Town Code dredging with regard to fees.
Good afternoon again, Supervisor and members of the board. The purpose of this hearing is to consider an amendment to Chapter 138 as it relates to fees. The application fee will change from $100 to $250. Required deposits will change from 10 cents to $1 per cubic yard based on the number of estimated yards of material to be removed. Payments to the town will change from 35 cents to $1 per cubic yard for all salable soil, sand, gravel, or other material removed from the bed of any watercourse or wetland owned by the town. The filing fee for a permit for dams, docks, or impounded structures will change from $50 to $500. These amendments shall be effective on April 1st, 2026. Unless there are any questions, that concludes this presentation.
Questions by the board?
No.
Anyone in the audience wish to be heard on this public hearing? There being none, move to close.
Second.
Supervisor Wilhelm?
Yes.
Councilman McCarthy?
Yes.
Councilwoman Noack?
Yes.
Councilwoman Anzarello?
Yes.
Councilman Lohman?
Yes.
Third public hearing is to consider proposed amendments to Chapter 285 of the code, trees with regard to fee changes.
The purpose of this public hearing is to consider an amendment to Chapter 285 as it relates to fees. This proposed amendment is to change the permit application fee from $100 to $200. Violations of this chapter will be punishable by fines in an amount not less than $500 and no more than $2,500. These amendments will be effective on April 1st, 2026. Unless there are any questions, that concludes this presentation.
Questions by the board?
No.
Anyone in the audience wish to be heard on this public hearing? There being none, move to close.
Second.
Supervisor Wilhelm?
Yes.
Councilman McCarthy?
Yes.
Councilwoman Noack?
Yes.
Councilwoman Anzarello?
Yes.
Councilman Lohman?
Yes.
And the fourth public hearing is to consider proposed amendments to Chapter 112, building construction with regard to fees.
The purpose of this public hearing is to consider an amendment to Chapter 112 as it relates to fees, starting with residential fees. The fees for antennas, satellite dishes, fireplace, stoves, sheds, air conditioning units, and heating units will change from $112 to $115 per unit. For plumbing permits, fees will change from $28 to $29 for each additional fixture. For gas pressure test, fees will change from $112 to $115 per meter per test. For retaining walls, the base fee will change from $330 to $345, and from $1.40 to $1.45 per 4 square feet of wall area. Residential rooftop mounted solar panels, fees will change from $165 to $175. As for commercial building fees, permits for new construction and/or additions, the fees will change from 62 cents to 65 cents per square foot of gross floor area. For interior alterations and fire repair, the fee will change from 62 cents to 65 cents per square foot of proposed work. For heating and air conditioning units, the fee will change from $550 to $575. For plumbing permits, the fee will change from $275 to $290 for the first 2 fixtures, and from $34 to $35 for each additional fixture in excess of 2. For gas pressure test, the fee will change from $275 to $290 per meter per test. For elevator installation, the fee will change from $110 to $115 per elevator installed. For facade renovations, the fee will change from 50 cents to 55 cents per square foot of effective area. The fee for tents will change from $275 to $300, and for commercial antennas and satellite dishes, The fee will change from $1,125 to $1,200 per unit. And lastly, for general permit fees, for the installation of fences, the fee will change from $170 to $200. For the installation of above-ground or in-ground pools other than gunite or concrete, the fee will change from $275 to $285. For gunite and concrete in-ground pools, the fee will change from $325 to $340. For the installation of or removal of storage tanks, the fee will change from $325 to $340 per tank. For the demolition of accessory structures, the fee will change from $75 to $100. And permits for electrical work, the fee will change from $50 to $100. These amendments shall be effective April 1st, 2026. Unless there are any questions, that concludes this public hearing.
Questions by the board? Anyone in the audience wish to be heard on this public hearing? There being none, move to close.
Second.
Supervisor Wareheim.
Yes.
Councilman McCarthy.
Yes.
Councilwoman Noack.
Yes.
Councilwoman Anzarello.
Yes.
Councilman Lohman.
Yes.
Thank you, Counselor. Deputy Clerk?
For consent agenda, minutes approval, January 6, 2026, and comptroller items 1 through 10 as they appear on the agenda.
Does anyone on the board wish to remove any resolutions from the consent agenda?
No, thank you.
No.
Mr. Clerk?
Councilman Lohman.
Yes.
Councilwoman Anzarello.
Yes.
Councilwoman Noack.
Yes.
Councilman McCarthy.
Yes.
Supervisor Wareheim.
Yes.
Town Board to issue a secret negative declaration in the matter of the application for site plan approval by Smithtown Fire District for reasons stated in a memorandum from David A. Barnes dated January 15, 2026.
Councilman Lohman.
Yes.
Councilwoman Anzarello.
Yes.
Councilwoman Noack.
Yes.
Councilman McCarthy.
Yes.
Supervisor Wareheim.
Yes.
Authorize the town clerk to advertise for bid 26005, bulk delivery of swimming pool chemicals. Bid 26006, public improvements to the Central Business District parking lot. Bid 26011, asphalt resurfacing. Bid 26012, concrete curbs, sidewalks, and aprons. And bid 26014, clear polyethylene bags.
Councilman Lohman.
Yes.
Councilwoman Anzarello.
Yes.
Councilwoman Noack.
Yes.
Councilman McCarthy.
Yes.
Supervisor Wareheim.
Yes.
Town Board to authorize town clerk to advertise for request for proposal 26010, commercial canoe livery services at Paul T. Given Park.
Councilman Lohman.
Yes.
Councilwoman Anzarello.
Yes.
Councilwoman Noack.
Yes.
Councilman McCarthy.
Yes.
Supervisor Wareheim.
Yes.
Town Board to award bid 25116 for plow blades and cutting edges to All Island Equipment Corp., Chimung Supply Corp., Komatsu America Corp., and Vok Manufacturing Company.
Councilman Lohman.
Yes.
Councilwoman Anzarello.
Yes.
Councilwoman Noack.
Yes.
Councilman McCarthy.
Yes.
Supervisor Wareheim.
Yes.
Town Board to approve bonds 1 through 13 as described on the agenda.
Councilman Lohman.
Yes.
Councilwoman Anzarello.
Yes.
Councilwoman Noack.
Yes.
Councilman McCarthy.
Yes.
Supervisor Wareheim.
Yes.
Town Board to approve the appointment of Lindsay Shu as petty cash officer in the town attorney's office, decrease cash draw, and establish a petty cash draw for use at the Youth Bureau, and appoint Elizabeth Altieri as petty cash officer, an extension of an agreement with RTP Environmental Associates to prepare and submit the annual NOx cap certification reports for the 2026 reporting term. Authorize the engineering department and the Department of Environment and Waterways to prepare plans and requisite permit application materials, and further authorize the supervisor to sign such materials as may be required in order to obtain a New York State DEC permit to conduct the repair of drainage structures along Caroline Avenue and Helen Avenue in Smithtown. Ratification of the execution of a grant agreement by the town supervisor with the New York State Environmental Facilities Corp. regarding emerging contaminant project at Oakside Drive and Landing Avenue, decrease petty cash for police auxiliary and increase petty cash for public safety, authorize Q-List contract renewal for the Office of the Assessor, agreement with Haydick Engineering for athletic field lighting design at Charles P. Toner Park, agreement with Thomas Volpes Jr. for roof replacement specs at 85 Old Northport Road, extension of agreement with L.K. McLean Associates for the continuation of reporting services at Montclair Avenue landfill for the 2026 term, extension of bid 23089 paint and stain, renewal of an agreement with Source Pass for remote monitoring and support of the town's computer network, agreement with Thomas Volpes Jr. for roof replacement specifications at Smithtown Historical Society Building, extension of bid 24095 for removal of leachate with Turner Cesspool Service, application for New York State Department of Agriculture and Markets grant for animal shelter renovation, approve modification of condition number 1 of Marine Law Permit 2025-2 issued to the Suffolk County Department of Public Works for maintenance, dredging, Stony Brook Harbor boat channels, and to extend the date of completion to February 15, 2026, and direct the town clerk to issue a permit modification to the Suffolk County Department of Public Works. Approve a final order extending the Smithtown Water District boundary and water main extension for Oakside Drive and Landing Avenue in Smithtown, and amendments to private plower rates for hired equipment for snow removal effective January 22nd, 2026 through December 31, 2026.
Councilman Lohman?
Yes.
Councilwoman Anzarello?
Yes.
Councilwoman Noack?
Yes.
Councilman McCarthy?
Yes.
Supervisor Wilhelm?
Yes.
Town Board to issue an amended written consistency determination pursuant to Chapter 151 of the Town Code that Coastal Consistency Review 2025-19A is consistent with the local waterfront revitalization plan, subject to conditions stated in a memorandum from the planning director.
Councilman Lohman?
Yes.
Councilwoman Anzarello?
Yes.
Councilwoman Noack?
Yes.
Councilman McCarthy?
Yes.
Supervisor Wilhelm?
Yes.
Town Board to accept donations on behalf of the animal shelter as described on the agenda.
Councilman Lohman?
Yes.
Councilwoman Anzarello?
Yes.
Councilwoman Noack?
Yes.
Councilman McCarthy?
Yes.
Supervisor Wilhelm?
Yes.
Authorize the supervisor to execute the following on a form approved by the town attorney. Agreement with Laser Industries under Suffolk County Contract ADA 120525. An agreement with Wareham LFG Services to utilize designated space located on town property at 85 Old Northport Road in Kings Park for storage purposes. Intermunicipal agreements with the 3 town villages for the installation of traffic signs and the application of pavement markings on village roads. An agreement with Mass Mutual to offer optional group life insurance products to town employees. An agreement with Peter Clark for consulting services for the IT department. An agreement with Krista M. Ziegel for consulting services for the town attorney's office.
Councilman Lohman?
Yes.
Councilwoman Anzarello?
Yes.
Councilwoman Noack?
Yes.
Councilman McCarthy?
Yes.
Supervisor Wilhelm?
Yes.
Approve settlement with regard to various tax certiorari matters per the recommendation of the sole assessor and the town attorney.
Councilman Lohman?
Yes.
Councilwoman Anzarello?
Yes.
Councilwoman Noack?
Yes.
Councilman McCarthy?
Yes.
Supervisor Wilhelm?
Yes.
And approve personnel matters A through E as they appear on the agenda.
Councilman Lohman?
Yes to all, and I'm abstaining from C.
Councilwoman Anzarello?
Yes to all, but I'm abstaining from C.
Councilwoman Noack?
Yes.
Councilman McCarthy?
Yes.
Supervisor Wilhelm?
Yes. That concludes resolutions. We now have to reconvene as Board of Site Plan Review.
Minutes approval, December 18, 2025, and conditionally approve the site plan for the Smithtown Fire District as presented today by Peter Hans.
Councilman Lohman,
Yes.
Councilwoman Anzarella,
Yes.
Councilwoman Novick,
Yes.
Councilman McCarthy,
Yes.
Supervisor Wareheim.
Yes. Okay, that concludes our town board business. I know we have speakers today. Before we start, public participation is subject to the rules of decorum, which you have on your speaker card, as per Town Code Section 76.7. Public portion is for town-related matters only. Any unsubstantiated, unverified, or material false information will be interrupted. The 3-minute rule will be strictly enforced. When you hear the tone, you have 1 minute to complete your statement. Thank you very much.
Bonnie Steinmuller?
Please state your name and address for the record.
Hi, my name is Bonnie Steinmuller. I live at 99 Brookside Drive, Smithtown, New York. Good afternoon, Supervisor Wareheim and all the board members. I just wanted to say a few things. I came to my attention last night as a Smithtown resident that there was going to be protests involving the new public relations officer, or Kevin Smith. And I felt it was my duty just to say that I'm opposed to the protest to begin with. It is our duty to have freedom of speech, and whether you agree with his political views or whether you disagree with his political views, it really has no bearing on the job which he is more than qualified for. So I just wanted to state my support for Kevin and hope that everybody can accept it and move on. Thank you.
Very much.
Thank you.
Joseph Verdeposer?
Please state your name and address for the record.
My name is Joseph Vertebra Jr. My address is 583 North Country Road, St. James, New York. Gentlemen, ladies, I'm going to tell you, I run a business. This is not something that I would want to do. You have a very, very difficult job. Because in my company, there are officers of the company, but they have to listen to everything that I say in order to get my business to run. Not like here at the town board, where they are going to get barked at, bit on, chewed on for almost anything. I live in Smithtown. I grew up in a rough neighborhood, Dix Hills. Come on, somebody. But Smithtown is where I live since '93. I raised 4 boys. I loved them so much. They turned out to be very, very good men. I brought them to St. Philip St. James Church. They learned how to bring Jesus into their lives. Sometimes they walk away from it like I did for many years, but I am back, and I am here to say that I love Smithtown, and I love every one of you on there. I've had relationships with you, having a coffee or a handshake, or in the past, my brother Johnny Boy and I, we supported you with our furniture that we had in storage. It was a long time ago. Statute of limitations. I'm here to tell you though, there is a flaw. There is a flaw in what's happening in the town of Smithtown, and I had learned this on my own, and I want to share it with the possible slight risk that I might be in trouble for it. But I ran for committee man. If you want something to say about your local government, you should run for committee man. That's what I was told. So I took the format, went down, I found a district, because there are many empty seats, Supervisor Wehrman. And I think that we should consider trying to fill up every one of these seats. This way we can hear what everybody has to say. I am here to tell you that this city, this town,
1 minute.
and thank you, sir. And this town is going to rise above all of the evil that continues to beat on us. I don't think you should look at your books. You guys, you gotta run it with expense, because we're all having higher expenses, there's no doubt about it. I would never consider going to Starbucks, because I think it's about $12 right now. It's not easy. Not easy job for you, but consider helping me. I wanna help you, because I can be a great sounding board. I'm Joe the Box, I'm the America First Warehouse, I'm in Ronkonkoma, but I live in Smithtown. I will be a great public relationships for you, and guess what it will cost you? Zero! because I love you and I love my town. Thank you for what you do, and thank you, Patriots. Consider becoming a committee man, and we'll help all of you with what we need. Oh, yeah, the one thing I had, the people, they're all worried about taxes. Everybody cried about taxes that I met in my committee membership. Thank you.
Thank you, Joe.
Thank you.
I think you left your papers there.
It's the,
Amanda Rodamista.
Please state your name and address for the record.
Sure, Amanda Rodamista, 42 Riviera Drive, Kings Park, New York. Good afternoon. I'm here today, took off work, but I represent a lot of people in the San Remo area of Kings Park. I'm here to speak about the existing duck hunting that's been going on for many, many years, right on the Nissaquag River. It has been a problem for many of the residents for a very long time. I have spoken to some, I'm looking at names as I was sitting here, council people, I think possibly the town attorney as well at one point, as many other residents have. It is a full-time job trying to navigate it when you don't have the expertise completely. But recently there was a really bad safety issue. An older gentleman was walking his dog and the guns went off because you never know when the guns are going to go off. So they start, you wake up to them a little bit after 6 when it's pitch black, and it begins. An older man was walking his dog. The dog got spooked, pulled him. He ended up on the ground. This was in front of my house. I'm at 42. And he started getting dragged. Around Riviera, it's narrow, and the cars, if anyone knows it, there's not even lines, came and screeched. That's how I saw it all, so I ran out and helped, and it was at that time where I said, you know what, I can't, I need to come and speak on behalf of what I saw and witnessed. The guy was so upset and was so grateful that nothing happened in the end. His dog took off. That was another piece, but that was a small one. A while back, there was a boy on a bike also. Again, he heard the bullets and he kind of crashed over into the curb into the swamp area. Again, I went there to help him, marsh area, and help him as well. There's another incident of somebody on Riviera having their window shot, but did not want to press charges.
1 minute remaining.
Okay, so I'm just really concerned about that. I know that there are specific local municipalities of Long Island that have banned the discharge of firearms in and near residential housing. Also, incorporated villages, townships have passed discharge of firearms and ordinances that make hunting illegal, including over water. Many of them will plant themselves right by San Remo Park. There were kids there not too long ago, and guns started going off. They are parking on the marshland. There are no signs posted at all, Smithtown, and people call DEC, park rangers we have out there, harbor master, public safety. Again, it becomes a full-time job. There are people with disabilities. I have my son as well on the spectrum, and it's really, it's unnerving. There's people who have babies, there's veterans, and it's really something that can be changed. There's also a noise code that Town of Smithtown has, a noise ordinance for Chapter 207.
Madam, your time is up. I would suggest you give my office a call. You can call tomorrow.
Okay,
I'm
oh,
in all
great.
day. And then we can set up a meeting and we can have a discussion on how we may be able to help you out.
Oh, terrific. Okay, thank
Okay?
you very much.
If you
Yes.
need the number, you could
Okay,
obtain it here.
thank you.
Stephen Biondi.
Please state your name and address for the record.
Steve Biondi, 49 Sunny Road, St. James, New York. Good afternoon. I've been a volunteer firefighter for the St. James Fire Department for 25 years. I'm currently the captain of Eagle Hook and Ladder and the Fire Rescue Company, and I've also served as the captain of Engine Company 2. Right now, there are 4,000 gallons of buried propane serving 3 homes on less than 2 acres at East End Court, in a location where no fire or hydrant studies were required because the access was treated as a flag lot. Originally, this land was included as a designated conservation easement on the official planning map until it suddenly vanished from its subdivision. For over a year, I've submitted FOIL requests and appeals to the town departments, this board, seeking proof that this easement was legally extinguished or released. The town's response, as stated by Lisa Sinecor, has been, it never existed. It was just a conversation. Well, now we have an advisory opinion from the New York State Committee on Open Government confirming that the planning maps are official records. So this was not a conversation. It was a legally recognized land use restriction, one that the town has failed to account for. To make matters worse, the entire private road access serving these 3 homes is taxed at about $14 a year. It's less than the cost of a tuna fish bagel. Meanwhile, taxpayers have funded tens of thousands of dollars in inspections and repairs because the town and this board failed to require a performance bond and surety instrument, which is a basic and necessary safeguard for the subdivision development. Because it was classified as a flag lot and not a roadway, there were no hydrant or fire studies or emergency access reviews, just approvals that ignored basic public safety. The access now carries buried propane, underground electric water, collapsing roadways, and failing drainage systems, yet still receives minimal tax treatment based on a non-existent flag lot. On October 21, 2020, the developer's attorney, Vincent Tremarco, a former town attorney, admitted at the planning board meeting,
1 minute remaining.
he is not a builder. If my builders had done this, I would have said shame on them. But he is not a builder. So what the board was told on the record was that no formal construction standards should not apply because he was not a developer and was not a professional builder. And despite that warning, despite the proper procedures were skipped, approvals and certificates were still granted. This is not just a zoning issue. It's about shortcuts, missing records, and ignored restrictions that created public safety hazards. When I approached the town, this board, public safety, and code enforcement, I was rebuked and berated. I urge this board to take action on these public life safety hazards, code violations, and vanishing conservation easement. If this is allowed to stand, it sets a dangerous precedent for land use and emergency planning townwide. Thank you.
Thank you.
Amy Biondi.
Please state your name and address for the record.
Amy Biondi, 49 Sunny Road, St. James. At a previous town meeting in March of 2024, I stood here and publicly raised concerns about propane leaks emanating from 3 East End Court into my property and home. The town came and inspected and discovered 2 leaks in the newly installed system. We submitted FOIL requests for the installation and inspection records for the propane system. There was no verification of tracer wire installation and no backfill inspection documentation. After the town conducted testing in response to our complaint, another FOIL request was sent requesting proof of testing. The town did not provide this. When asking for these safety records in person, my husband was berated by a representative of the town saying just because we didn't like their answers didn't make our side of the story true. The contemporaneous records show a highly compressed approval timeline coupled with missing and inconsistent documentation, a pattern which strongly suggests approvals were processed for expediency rather than regulatory compliance. And as part of the CO application, the developer submitted an affidavit signed by himself, meaning custody and control of critical safety sign-offs had been released back to him, even though he is not a licensed engineer, architect, or superintendent. His professional background is Dunkin' Donuts franchisee ownership, not construction or engineering. The town engineer has certified that no engineering or drainage inspection records exist for the subdivision, and despite it being a requirement, no performance bond was posted, meaning no verified construction oversight. The town cannot call on a resolution in lieu of a performance bond if work fails, which it has. Against the backdrop of missing oversight, we asked for propane safety verification, including tracer wire and backfill inspection, and those records cannot be produced either. We submitted FOIL requests and appeals that were all ignored. We escalated to the New York Committee on Open Government, who issued advisory opinions directing the town to produce the records or certify that they do not exist, also ignored. There's a 1,000-gallon propane tank located right next to my home. There is no hydrant in the core of this subdivision. No fire studies were performed, and the homes were misclassified in a way that avoided those safety requirements.
1 minute remaining.
And now that there are families with infants living there, and given that the developer's own attorney told the planning board that he was not a builder, I believe it was reckless for so much responsibility for safety and compliance to be assigned to him. This is not a paperwork issue, it's a public safety issue requiring immediate independent verification of tracer wire, emergency access, and response conditions. We ask the town to act, not defend past decisions, and ensure that the people living here and the firefighters who may be called here are not being placed at unnecessary risk due to missing or unverified safety records. Thank you.
Thank you.
Patty Stoddard.
Please state your name and address for the record.
Patty Stoddard, 400 Gibbs Pond Road, Nesconset, New York. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm here to read a letter for somebody who could not attend today. So here we go. Dear Town Council members, very recently, it has come to my attention that the Town Council will vote today to confirm the appointment of Mr. Kevin Smith. This is a very disturbing situation as it relates to employment within our town's local government. As a tax-paying resident and concerned citizen, I recommend this potential hire of Mr. Smith should be reconsidered. It is my understanding that Mr. Smith is in a relationship with the Public Relations Officer. This situation is an inappropriate direct conflict of interest and unprofessional in its nature for a subordinate and supervisor's position. Hiring friends and relatives is considered to be nepotism, which could cause favoritism and discrimination within the workplace. There is also an issue with the posting of the position in question. Please provide adequate time and requirements on the Smithtown government's website so other candidates can apply for the position. Regards, Amy Fortunato. And I have to say, I do agree with some of this stuff, because I know that when we got the email saying that the agenda was changed and that Kevin Smith was going to be, voted for approval, I went on the website, and that position isn't even listed on the town website, and I was just wondering why that is, So, that's one thing. And the fact that a few years ago also that Kevin did run for a position and didn't get it for various reasons, I think it's the same reasons that a lot of people in this community
minute
feel
remaining.
that he shouldn't be hired for this. Somebody who is supposed to be representing the town and working for all of us really hasn't shown that he will work for all of us. And I just think that should be known. All righty, thank you.
Thank you.
Mike Rosado.
Please state your name and address for the record.
Mike Rosado, 12 Country Oaks Drive, Kings Park, New York. Good afternoon. On January 21st, Newsday reported that Smithtown is considering cutting the cost of its vehicle fleet by reducing the number of take-home and leased vehicles. This effort is long overdue and should have started well before the town board raised residents' taxes by over 10%, breaking the state's 2% tax cap. In fact, this issue was self-inflicted. The town board, which never holds itself accountable for anything, allowed town vehicles to be misused because it did not strongly monitor its employees. With vigilance, attention to detail, clear politics, and sharper accountability, the town could have had better outcomes with its take-home vehicle program. More importantly, the town should only be leasing smaller, less expensive vehicles for administrative purposes with expected low mileage. Instead, the town leased large and expensive Ford Explorers with tinted windows, public works maintenance trucks, and public safety vehicles with high annual mileage. This is just plain fiscal incompetence. Lastly, I believe the Newsday story is just a distraction from the town's hiring today of Kevin Smith, the boyfriend of the town's public information officer, Nicole Gargiulo. Not only is the town's ongoing nepotism costly to taxpayers, it's totally unethical. This is another flagrant misuse of taxpayers' money, considering he is being hired to be Ms. Gargiulo's assistant for a job that only exists in the first place to fund her political activity on behalf of Mr. Werheim and this town board. Mr. Smith co-founded the Long Island Loud Majority, known to be an extreme anti-government group by the Southern Poverty Law Center. He frequently and viciously disparages others and spreads misinformation to further his personal and political agenda. He even recently assaulted someone outside one of his political events. His hiring is just a reward for the bullying and insults directed at Mr. Werheim's opponents
1 minute remaining.
during last year's political campaign. If this town board was actually interested in decreasing cost, such as their belated attempt to revamp its vehicle fleet, they would not be hiring someone so unqualified and unfit for a job that serves no public purpose. His hiring is simply another waste of taxpayers' money that serves only the personal and political interest of this town board. Thank you.
Thank you.
Sean Bishop. Sean Bishop.
Next.
No others. That's it, no others.
All right, there are no further speakers. I move to close.
Second.
Supervisor Wareheim.
Yes.
Councilman McCarthy.
Yes.
Councilwoman Noack.
Yes.
Councilwoman Zarello. Yes. Councilman Loman.
Yes.
Thank you all for attending this afternoon. Be safe and get prepared for the storm. I would like to say, and maybe you could spread to your neighbors, we are expecting quite a snowstorm at this point. Please spread the word to take vehicles off of the road. It's super important for everybody's safety, our crews, your vehicles, the residents who live on the streets. Do your best to do it. We have a difficult time doing it. I know it's difficult, but so important. So if you can, get your vehicles up off the road somehow, because this is gonna be quite a storm, I believe, on Sunday and Monday. Thanks very much.